Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. This is Rajiv S. Khanna from immigration.com, the law offices of Rajiv S. Khanna PC. We do these community conference calls every Thursday. Once we do it on our personal bridge, conference bridge that you are on right now, and once we do it on LinkedIn audio. Today is December 14th, 2023. I will go over the questions that are posted first. These are posted in our forums, forums.immigration.com. And after that, I will invite questions from the audience. 15-20 minutes, half an hour into the call, I might have to close the conference because I want to answer questions of everyone who's already here. So if we keep the conference room open, we may not have enough time to answer everyone's questions. Okay. And if I miss you this week, just come on back next week and we can talk again. All right. So with that, let me get started. I have marked a question as a frequently asked questions, which is what happens when I convert from B visa, B as in boy, B1 or B2, to any other status such as H1B, etc. So I'm always very careful with B visa. Okay. When you come to the US on a B1, you are telling the government, I have some business I need to attend to. Okay. When you come on a B2 or a mixed B1, B2, you are telling the government, I'm going for tourism, right? So if you come as a visitor and then you try to convert to a student status, or you try to convert to an H1B, L1 or green card, which is worse, government can take the position that you misrepresented your intention. And misrepresentation becomes a permanent bar from entering the United States. This is a very serious issue. You should always discuss it with your lawyers before you try to change status from B. B can be very tricky. Okay. So in general, keep this rule in mind. Then on top of that, there is this rule called the 90-day rule, which has been in and out, and it has presented over time in different forms. There used to be a 30, 60, 90-day rule. Now there is a 90-day rule. Basically, what it says is, if somebody enters on one status and they try to change status to another, which is inconsistent with the previous status that they entered on, then we are going to assume that they committed fraud or misrepresentation if the change is applied for within 90 days of entry. Okay. So if I enter today, 30 days later, I try to change to H1B or L1, there could be a problem. Just be careful with that. So converting from B visa to any other status, such as H1B, can be tricky. Now let's look at the question. I have a valid B1 visa. I traveled to the US April 23. H1 has been approved. I'm eligible for Dropbox. My employer is telling me that if my case does not get approved in Dropbox, he's asking me to travel on B1, then get the status converted to H1B. My advice, no. This can be construed as fraud. Okay? So I would definitely not advise that, Santoshi. Okay, then the next part of the question is it possible to switch employers with an approved H1B petition before getting my visa stamped? And if I change the employer, will I have any issues? I've discussed this issue many times before. You can listen to our frequently asked questions on immigration.com. And you will see that we have said before, I'll summarize it for you, that government says, unless you get change of status or visa stamping, we don't think you are out of the lottery yet. So if you try to change employers, we may not give you the change of employers without getting first a visa stamp. Fact of the matter is, we have done many cases like this. So far, we have not had any problem where people changed employers even without getting a visa stamp first. So what they say and what they do are two different things. Okay. Now, I'm going to invite you folks. Does anyone have a question that follows from what I discussed? Please don't raise your hand for new questions. In fact, I think I have enough people. Let me lock the conference. Give me 1 second. I'm going to lock the conference.
The conference is now locked.
So that way I make sure the people who are here will get their questions answered. So right now, if you have a follow-up question on what I discussed, press *5. No new questions. New questions will come at the end. Any follow-up questions on what I just discussed? Converting from B to other status. Okay. Let's go on to the next posted question from Senthil. He wants to know about considerations for H1B transfer, challenges, repercussions of denial, H1B termination while changing employers. Okay. So yeah, Senthilji, I think it's always a good idea to check our frequently asked questions portion on immigration.com. A lot of this has been answered before, but that's okay. I'll answer it for you. I got my H1B approved this year, got change of status to H1B on October 1st. I'll be laid off from my current job on December 8th. And thanks to early notice, I was able to get into job hunt and secure a job with company B. I am still being interviewed by another company, company C, who are pretty slow. So if I start my H1B, A to B, maybe after 2 weeks, if I get an offer from company C, should I transfer from A to C, or should I wait for A to B and then do B to C? And the answer is, there is a difference between applying for a transfer, a second transfer, within 60-day grace period and outside 60-day grace period. So let us look at the consequences. So we have 3 employers: A, that you got laid off from; B, who has applied for a transfer within 60 days; and C, which is under question. What do you do with that employer? Okay. So if you file within 60 days of the grace period, it's an easy case. You file from A to C transfer. Okay. And even if the B gets denied, because A to C was filed within 60 days, you are sitting pretty. You don't have to do anything. Okay. Things get trickier when you file from A to B transfer within 60 days, but B to C is filed outside 60 days. Now what will happen is, this is perfectly legal to do that. You won't do B to C, you'll still do A to C probably, okay, because B is not yet approved. You would still do A to C, but the problem is, unless B to C is approved, A to C will not be approved. It will be approved, but you'll have to go outside for visa stamping. Okay. So it's not a question of approval. It's a question of approval within the US and staying within the US. Approval you will get. But will you get it within the US? That is the important part. Okay. So for that, unless A to B is approved, B to C will not be approved within USA. You'll have to go outside for visa stamping. So A to B in that case is called a bridge petition. Something that carries the bridge from A to B and A to C. Because A to C was filed outside the 60 days grace period. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Senthil, if you are here or anybody has a follow-up question on what I just talked about, press *5. Senthil or anybody else who has a follow-up question. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Discrepancy in the country of birth on passport and green card. Can we change the country of birth on green card? Sure. You can file a green card correction. I believe it's form I keep forgetting the number of the form. I-90. Yeah, it's form I-90. So look at the instructions on form I-90. If the error was made by the government, they should correct it without asking for a payment. And you might not even have to go through a very lengthy process. But if the mistake was made by your lawyers or by you, you'll have to file a formal correction using form I-90. Okay. Now, I would definitely change. It's always a good idea to have your record absolutely correct. I definitely recommend that. So you wanted to know what do I recommend? I recommend that you get it corrected. Okay. Getting it corrected should not be that complicated. It's just a matter of time. And when you travel, if you still have problem, you can actually file a formal request for correction with CBP also, which is called TRIP, Travel Redress Inquiry Program. But that probably will not be needed for you. Just get the green card changed. Okay. *5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press *5. Next question is H1B to H4 transition and rejoining the workforce. What is the process, grace period, lottery considerations? So I am on H1B. I have been in the US more than 12 years. I-140 is approved. Priority date is 2013 in EB2 category. Lost my job, planning to move to H4. Company is going to revoke the H1B. If I get a job after 4 months with the new company, what will be the process? So I'm assuming that your I-140 was approved more than 180 days ago. And if this is true, then even if you move to H4, and even if the old company revokes the H1B, also revokes the I-140, you still are entitled to get back into H1B and keep getting H1B extensions with another company until your dates become current. Okay. So that's not a problem at all. So your next question was, if I get a job after 4 months, new company will file my H1B, what will be the process? You'll do H4 to H1B transfer. There's no lottery here. No lottery, no issue of lottery. You are not subject to the lottery. Okay. About the grace period, 60-day grace period comes with each approval. So if you go from employer A within 60 days grace period to employer B and the case got approved, after 2 months you got laid off, you again have 60-day grace period. So 60-day grace period comes with each new validity of H1B. Okay. And there's no issue of lottery. Yeah, so you already have this covered. So no, I don't have it covered anywhere else. This is kind of the way it works. Press *5 if you have a follow-up question on anything I talked about. Okay. Once I finish these questions, then we'll start the new questions. Hold on one second. There's a question from area code 901, which is Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee, go ahead. I can hear you. Tennessee?
Okay. Sir, I just have a follow-up question related to this question, but in context of L2.
Okay.
So the change of status from, let's say, H1 to H4 or H1 to L2, if that takes more than 60 days, just the change of status, and it goes beyond, let's say, 90 days, at that point in time, if I'm still pursuing a sponsorship opportunity on H1, and if I get an offer, can I still do in process, how does that situation will work, basically?
Okay. So there is a little confusion in your question. Let's clarify that first of all. Okay. So first thing you need to remember is you only need to file for a transfer or a change of status within 60 days. You don't need to get it approved. Okay. As long as your papers are in the hands of the USCIS within 60 days, you are legal in the United States. Okay. Number one. Number two, now this is where things get tricky. Let's say I have H1 to L2 pending, and then I got a job. And first of all, L2 allows you to work. So I don't have any problem with you working on L2 once the L2 is approved. But if the L2 is not yet decided, it's still pending, and you apply for an H1, they'll probably have you go outside the US for visa stamping, which is okay. If you already have a visa stamp of H1B on your passport, when the H1 is approved, you can just go outside, come back with that old visa and new approval. But if you don't have a valid visa, you can just go get a new visa stamp from any of the neighboring countries and come back. So remember, they cannot give you status within the US if 60 days are over and the next status is not yet approved. L2 is not approved, it's still pending. In that case, they'll approve the H1B, but have you go outside USA for visa stamping. Okay?
Okay.
Makes
All right.
sense?
Thank you, sir. So L2 will be kind of abandoned at that point in time.
Well, I think you should withdraw it at some point of time, but be in consultation with your lawyers. They should guide you through the timing. Not a problem. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, sure. Now, Pratik, that name sounds familiar. Anyhow, multiple I-797 forms during an H-1B transfer, exploring the possibility of switching from B to C after a short period. So currently I'm on H-1B with employer A. I'm transferring to B. Now a company C has offered me a job. Can I have 3 I-797 forms simultaneously? Sure, absolutely. So the weirdness in this is, let's say you get 3 approvals. You had the old company A, you got another one through company B, another one through company C. You can only work for one company at a time, but you can pick and choose whichever company you want to work with. So if you want to go back and start working again for company A, you can forget about B and C. So really, you can pick any of the 3 companies. Can you have 797 approvals from all 3 companies? Sure. Happens all the time. Okay. Star 5, if you have a follow-up question on this, star 5. Okay. Next question, number 7. Normally, I ask the team not to take more than 11 questions so that we have room for new questions. So we should be finishing up with these fairly quickly. Changing from H1B to L2 with concurrent EAD, potential implications of employment and future green card filing, and reverting back to H1B. So currently I'm on H1B, good till 24. Spouse is L1A, good till 25. Child 11, child 6. I-140 approved. Given the IT industry outlook, I'm looking to understand the process of changing from H1 to H4, from H1 or and H4 for dependents to L2. Acha. Both for children and you to convert to L2, and for you L2 with EAD. Yeah. I want to understand if I can move to L2 with concurrent EAD, continue with my employment and switch back. Yeah, you can switch back to H1B. The only problem is that if the L2 is delayed, you may not have employment authorization in between, but you can, once the L2 is approved, you can go back to work. If I do a change of status to L2 with concurrent EAD, is it possible for me to revert to H1B in the future? Sure. How long can I be on L2 before it becomes a problem for me to switch back to H1B? 6 years. After 6 years, it might become a problem. Again, in your case, maybe not. So this is a long discussion. In other words, it's not something that needs to be discussed really. If I change of status to L2 and for some reason L1 extension is denied, can I convert to H1B? Yeah, absolutely. You'll be able to revert back to H1B. A worst case scenario, if there's a gap in your status somehow, you might have to step outside USA and come back with a visa. No big deal. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Okay, this one is from area code 901, which is Tennessee. Tennessee, go ahead, please.
Sir, thank you so much for doing this community service. I really appreciate it. This is Manish again. I actually asked my follow-up question in the previous question itself.
Okay.
So I'm good there, but I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, you are very welcome. Glad I could help. Okay, so the reason I enjoy talking to the community so much is because we have so much experience in this field. Something that you might take hours upon hours to research, it takes me a minute to answer. So it's just cost benefit kind of thing. It's so much easier for me to just get this done for you. And I'm happy to do it. I've been doing it for 33 years. It's the best part of my job. Okay, now going to Sunita Reddy. Notice of intent to deny regarding parents' green card. Validity of B1, B2. So US citizen applied for parents' green card through AOS. I applied for 485, advanced parole, etc., when they entered in July. They were good till January 4th. We went to Caribbean vacation. Yeah, you have to reapply for the 485. Yeah. We received a letter for an in-person interview. They attended, showed them advanced parole stamp. Yeah, we received a notice of intent to deny since they traveled on a cruise last year I'm not sure I can say anything, Sunitaji. That is the law. You should not have traveled while the advanced parole was pending. The B1, B2 is gone now. So they have two choices, and I really don't know without researching this issue whether they can apply for 485 again. So they have two choices. Either they can leave, go to India and get consular processing done, or have a lawyer review the case thoroughly and see if you can file adjustment of status again. But by traveling into international waters, the way I see it, your advanced parole was not approved, so the 485 is automatically gone. This is very dangerous. You should have consulted somebody, but it's okay. These things happen. The only question is, which is the better option? Go back to home country, convert to consular processing the green card and do the interview in India, or refile the 485, do some research, refile the 485. But remember that B1, B2 they have may not be usable anymore. There's a section of law called INA, Immigration and Nationality Act, section 222, G as in girl, that automatically revokes their B1, B2. Okay. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question, press star 5, please. Okay. Next question. Switching from, I think we just have a couple of questions left. Switching from AOS to CP, I-24 process for family-based green card. Applied for family-based green card for father, August 22. I-130 approved, RFE for birth certificate. Travel to India for emergency. AP. So I am a little bit lost here. Are you in the call? Press star 5 if you are here. Press star 5. Okay, I'm not sure exactly. So when they traveled for the first time, I'm assuming they had their advanced parole. I-485 had traveled to India on emergency AP. So they did get AP. Good. Issued for 4 months. Currently in India, emergency. Okay, so I am not clear about your facts, but let me see the questions that I can answer safely. Can the 485 be changed to CP by filing I-824? Absolutely. Can this be done while dad is in India? Yes, absolutely. Even before April 1st? Yes, no problem. Who should file, me as I-130 petitioner or dad as I-130 beneficiary? You as the petitioner. How and where would we change the address for correspondence from NVC? Now that becomes a part of the I-824. Don't worry about that part. So you just file the I-824, okay? Star 5, if you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5 on your phone. Okay. Second last question. Forming a sole owner LLC, which the H1B visa holder planning to operate remotely from India. I'm working on H1B. I'll form an LLC, then go back to India, operate the LLC from India. Yeah, you can do that. I don't see any problem with that. Is it possible to form sole owner LLC for H1B holders? Yes. Until you start activity and start making money, just having an LLC formed is no problem. Are there any compliances I should be looking for if I plan to move to India or operate the LLC remotely? I don't know the answer to that question, unless there are some Reserve Bank regulations or there is some export control regulations that prevent you from working on prohibited technologies like 128-bit encryption, etc. So other than the immigration law has nothing to say about this. What happens to my B1, B2 after I get F1 and H1B stamped? You probably will have to reapply because normally they cancel the B1, B2. But if they have not cancelled it, you can use it. But it could be problematic for you to explain to the government that you're not going to work on your business because you're not allowed to work with a B1, B2. Even with a B1, you're not allowed to work. You can do infrastructure related activities, but you can't actually work for your company. So that is your only problem. If you are working remotely, managing the company, no issue. But if you try to come and do it from USA, that would be a problem. Okay. *5. If you have a follow-up question, press *5. Okay. This one is from area code 937. Let's see. Ohio. Okay. Yeah. Ohio, go ahead, please. Ohio.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
So, as you were saying, like, I cannot come back and work on, like, do the business things on my B1, B2. I don't really want to work here. I just want to come here, attend some meetings and, like, have some conversation with the client.
Yeah, that is permissible on a
Will
B1.
that be
Yeah,
possible to
that is normally permissible on a B1. But look, here is the problem. Your business is in USA. You are coming to talk with the clients. That could become a problem. I'll give you an example. The oldest known example of a proper use of a B1 was this. There was a tailor in Hong Kong who used to come to USA just to get people's measurements and then go back and stitch the shirts in Hong Kong. Government tried to take away his B1, B2 visa and the court said no. He's not doing any work here. He's just coming to get the measurements and then the work is done in Hong Kong. In your case, the problem is the work is being done in USA. So even talking to client could be a prohibited business activity, maybe. I don't know the answer to that question. Nobody does. Okay. If on the other hand, you were coming to shake hands and kiss babies, but the work was being done in India, it might be okay. Okay.
Okay. And sir, like my other question is like, what happens to the H1 visa if I get new B1, B2 visa stamp?
Well,
like I still have 5 years on like
right. So if you have 5 years, yeah, if you have 5 years left on your H1B, you can use it any time to take those 5 years only, called the remainder option. You can web search for H1B remainder option. So there's no time limit on that as far as today's policy is concerned. So even 10 years from now, you could use the remaining H1B unless the law or the policy changes. Okay? Good luck, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Very helpful.
You are welcome. Okay. I believe this is the second last question. I think they had overstayed H1B due to I-94 expiry, looking for options to re-enter the USA with a new job. In August 23, I had to leave USA. I was on H1B, which I stamped November 22. On returning at the port of entry, I was told to renew my passport, which I renewed. I-94 was updated and admit until date was 19th August 23. So I overstayed for 10 days. 10 days is not a big deal. The problems start when it's 180 days. Okay. So can you enter USA with a new job? Yes. You will have to get your H1B transfer, and you will also have to apply for a visa again. The consulate might tell you you don't need a visa, you already have a visa, but you can tell them that I overstayed by 10 days. So because of section 222G, a new visa may be required. If the consulate says no, it is not required, you are good to go. Okay. So I think you should get an H1B transfer and apply for a new visa and tell them that the old visa may have been cancelled because you overstayed by 10 days. And that was your I-94. So under section 222G, your visa is cancelled automatically. Okay. Star 5, if you have a follow-up question, press star 5. All right. And this is the last question. Yeah, this is the last question. Returning to the US for a family-based green card emergency AP, green card approval and timeline. So timeline to return to the US, green card approved while abroad. Okay. Emergency AP issued on December 1st, 23. Boarded the flight, left for India 5th December. 485 approved on 6th December. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you should be able to come back on your advance parole. And you can even come back on your green card. Yeah, you should be. No question about it. So we had a client like this just recently. Previously, what used to happen was when you showed up with the advance parole, they will look up your record and say, oh, your green card is approved. They'll enter you as a green card holder. Last time what they did was a few months back, they entered our client as an advance parole. So I emailed them. I said, how can you do an advance parole entry as a green card holder? And they said, that's not a problem. We consider him to be advance parole holder even though his green card is approved. So the answer is it should not be a problem either way, AP or green card. Okay. Also assuming if number 2, is it okay if they travel back to US after 6 months of stay? No. Come back as quickly as you can. I remember there was some issue. I remember somebody had consulted me because they got into trouble. Their green card was approved while they were abroad and they thought they could stay very easily for 6 months or so. There was a problem with them. So I would say come back please as quickly as you can. Get your green card settled and then go back again. I don't remember exactly what the issue was, but there was an issue, I recall that. Okay. Press star 5 if you have a follow-up question. Press star 5. Okay. Let's do all the new questions. Press star 5 if you have any question. Press star 5 if you have any question. 1 question only, 2 questions. Or what happened? 3 questions? What? I feel like I should retire. You guys have no questions left. Just 3 questions. Wow. No, 4 questions. Still going is slow today, guys. What's up? Okay. Either you know everything already or I don't know. What is the R? Okay. Let's go with area code 309. 5 questions. Okay. In the order that you logged in, that's the order I will go in. First one is area code 309. Not 309. Let me find you. Show queue area code 309. Okay. Area code 309. Illinois, go ahead, please.
Hey, hi Rajiv. This is Akhil again.
Uh-huh.
So, could you suggest me what would be the best way to file AR11? I already have an account.
Online karo na?
Should I go with
Online.
the
Do it.
online form
Yeah, do it.
or-
Do it online. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
Okay,
the best
because
way to
my
do it.
STEM OPT, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'll go ahead.
Are you
and
on?
do it with
Are
the
you still
online
on STEM OPT?
and then-
Are you on STEM OPT?
No, I have an account, USCS account,
Uh-huh.
then on STEM OPT.
Okay.
So
But
I
you-
got confused whether to do it with that account
No,
or
no.
to go online.
Oh,
and do
that
it
should not.
with
You can
online
use the
form.
same account, but the status would be H1B, I think. If there is a problem, then just do a new account. I think you
Oh.
should be able to use the same account because statuses change all the time. Okay.
Okay. So I'll use the same
Yeah.
STEM OPT account and
Yeah.
do the address change then.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. And
But
will my employer know about all this, or I can be safe on that side, right? Because this is my part.
yeah, this
that I
is your
need to
part.
do
The employer has
myself.
nothing to do with it. They can't interfere with that. Okay.
Okay. Should they file any new LCA if it is less than 5 miles?
Oh, that is
or
up to
something
their
like that?
lawyers. I don't know what their situation is. But normally what happens is if you are within 50 miles of an approved location, you shouldn't have to do anything much.
Okay.
We still do LCAs for the home location, but that's up to the lawyers to decide. That compliance is the employer's compliance.
Yeah. Then I'll go ahead and
Okay.
makes sense. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Then I'll go ahead and use the same STEM OPT account to
Yeah.
do my change of address. Then.
I think so. I mean, if you see something,
Thank you so much.
yeah, if you see something that doesn't make sense, file the AR11 anyway, and then come back and talk to me. Because I want you to file within 10 days of moving.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. This will be fine.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay, next person who logged in is from Massachusetts, USA, area code 774. So area code 774, Massachusetts, go ahead, please.
Hi, sir. This is Ravindra.
Ji.
Actually, recently I have applied for a STEM extension in the month of October,
Uh-huh.
and my passport is getting expired in the month of February.
Mm-hmm.
I heard is there any rule that there should be 6 months from the application date to my passport validity?
Yeah. So the rule is your passport must be valid for 6 months beyond the date you have asked to stay in the US. Okay. So your passport should be valid 6 months beyond the date of anticipated stay in the US. Make sense? Sir?
Okay, so my OPT is gonna expire by 21st January, and from 22nd January I should be applicable for the STEM OPT extension.
Yeah, what you
So
need to
think
do
is
is,
there any
yeah,
reason for
contact your Indian consulate. Tell them to expedite your passport extension. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will this make any denial or RFP for my STEM extension?
I can tell you what the regulations and the policies say. I haven't really looked at it in the context of an OPT. So I would suggest you talk to your DSO. They should have that information. But above everything else, apply for your passport extension right away. That would be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, because I spoke to my DSO. I spoke to many people. They
Right.
were like, I don't see any rule in USPS. There is no rule. So I planned.
Well, there is a rule for entry.
Today night I have to travel.
No, there is a rule for entry. They will not let you enter for the entire duration if your passport is not valid for 6 months beyond the date of entry. Okay, but does the rule also apply to OPT, CPT?
So my plan is like.
Does the rule also apply
My
to?
plan is like.
So let me
if I
finish.
travel-
Let me finish. Does this restriction also apply to OPT, CPT? I don't remember off the top of my head. I would say it should. I think you should have your passport valid. And it's easily fixable. Rather than debating the theory of what can be and what cannot be, just get it extended. Why argue about it, right? So go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Can I travel to India because
No.
I had a plan.
No.
to renew my visa
No,
and
not
renew my,
no.
passport.
No, do not travel. I haven't looked at this issue. I can't recommend it unless you have a reliable counsel who has the time to research this issue for you, or your DSO knows the answer for sure and you see it actually. One of the websites where you can go to study this a little bit further is dhs.studyinthestates.gov. So see if you can find the answer on that website. That's a pretty comprehensive website. dhs.studyinthestates.gov. See if you can find the answer there. But don't make travel plans with a passport that's just expiring. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you, sir. One last question.
Uh-huh.
So I think I'll be getting the decision from I-765 about I-765 this coming week or this week. So meanwhile, if I extend my visa my passport in USA itself, how should I let them know? Should I provide any additional document?
You can if you filed your case online, isn't there a provision that you can upload unsolicited documents? So you can actually upload a copy of your passport.
There are I can upload some additional documents.
So why not?
Okay.
That's what you should do, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, so we have 3 more questions left. Next one is from North Carolina, which is area code. Hold on, which area code was this? North Carolina is area code 980. Okay. Here we go. 980, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Sir, thank you for doing this. I have 2 questions, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So right now my STEM OPT expires May 24,
Mm-hmm.
and my F1 visa has expired July 23.
Mm-hmm.
So in case I get the F1 visa renewal Dropbox appointment only in the months of like February or March, will it be a problem in case I get called for interview since I'll only have 2 months left?
Yeah, you should get your passport extended. Make sure you do that.
Not my passport. My F1 visa is expired. My passport
Oh,
is
okay,
valid.
sorry. I thought you said your passport was expiring in 2 months. Did I misunderstand?
No.
Okay.
My F1 visa has already expired.
Acha.
My STEM OPT is still May 24.
Oh, so you want to know?
So if I get the F1,
Yeah. So you think
Sorry, go ahead.
you want to get F1 for 2 months? Is that what you're saying? The visa stamp?
no, because I'll have to go to because I'll have to go to India within the next 3-4 months. And if I get the Dropbox renewal
Oh, I don't know about
only in
that.
the month of like
Yeah.
February and March.
I think that's
Okay.
a very difficult situation to predict. I have no idea what they will do with just 2 months
Okay.
of activity remaining. Will they give you the F1? I mean,
Yeah.
my guess would be they might. But you can look at their.
Okay.
Do me a favor. So do a web search
Okay, sir.
for State Department. Write this down. State Department Foreign
Okay.
Affairs Manual.
Okay.
State Department Foreign Affairs Manual.
Okay.
Okay. So you'll come to a publication called EFAM,
Okay.
Electronic Foreign Affairs Manual.
Okay.
Look at the volume 9.
Okay.
It's called volume 9 visas.
Okay.
So under visas, go to
Okay.
F1 visa and read up there. There might be something there. These are detailed operating procedures of the consulate. They are bound by these procedures.
Okay.
Okay. And it may not be a bad
Okay.
idea to
Okay.
also send them an email, see if they have some information for you. Okay.
Okay. I'll do this. So, and my second question was, I saw that it was proposed by USCIS to only have a single chance even an applicant files multiple applications for H1 next year.
Mm-hmm.
Is that passed? I mean, is that going
No.
to be effect
All
next
these
year, or it's
no.
Okay.
I doubt these regulations will be implemented by next year, because next year they have to do it by
Okay.
March. That's too early, because
Okay.
right now the regulations are still under notice and comment. So first they have to close the notice and comment period, as far as I know, then they have to address all the main comments. So that takes time. I don't think anything is going to happen this year. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good luck,
Thank you.
sir. Good luck. All right. Bye-bye. So Florida is next, 813. Yeah, Florida, go ahead. I can hear you.
Hello, Rajiv, sir.
Hello, sir.
Thank you for hosting this community call.
Of course.
I was on F1 visa until December 11th of this year.
Okay.
And I got my H1B approved with change of status. My first question for you is like, how early we should plan for visa stamping in India? What's your suggestion on that?
Okay, first of all, when you get a change of, hang on, when you get a change of status and you have not violated your status, there is no requirement for a visa stamping for 50 years if you want. So there is no date by which you must get visa stamping done.
Okay, noted. Yeah.
Only time you need a visa, let me finish. The only time you need a visa stamp is if you need to travel. Because in order to return, of course, and once again, travel to Canada or Mexico is no problem if it is less than 30 days. You can travel without a visa. But if you travel anywhere else, for example, if you go to India, before you can return, you have to go get a visa stamp. Okay?
All right. Yeah. Noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
But if you stay in the US,
Yes.
you could stay for the next 20 years without a visa stamp and even get your green card while you're still here.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much for that answer. And the another question on the same topic was like, I got my H1B approved while I was on initial OPT. So the question is regarding the STEM extension. Will I be eligible for STEM extension anytime in the near future if I go back to the F1 visa on another master's degree or PhD?
Not for another
Are you aware of
master's, not
something
for
like this?
another master's degree. There is a practical difficulty there. But if you go for PhD, yes, you will be entitled to OPT and STEM OPT extension. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, all right. And on the H1B visa status, are we allowed to rent a property for earning a rental income? Is that
I don't think so. I think that's
thing to
illegal.
do?
My own opinion, I think it's illegal. Okay?
All right. Yeah. Got it.
Good
Yeah,
luck, sir.
that's all from my side.
right.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Last question is from New Jersey. New Jersey, go ahead. I can hear you. New Jersey, area code 732. Hello. If you are trying to talk, you may be muted. New Jersey, area code 732.
Hi, sir. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
My question is regarding the DS-164 form. My H-1B got approved this year, and I'm also enrolled in Day 1 CPT Master's program. So I'm planning to go for my first H-1B visa stamping. So I have a question that in the education training section, do I need to include details about my ongoing CPT degree?
You see, somebody asked me that question just a moment ago. And what I told them was, if the question asks about completed degrees, then obviously your degree is not yet complete and you don't have to mention. But if the question looks like it's asking even for ongoing degrees, then you have to mention it. So I don't know what the question is.
Okay.
All right.
So they have mentioned on their education training section, it just says that you have to enter all the education ongoing, like not ongoing, just the education section like you have completed.
Normally what happens is when these questions occur, they talk about dates attended from to. and it kind of looks to me like they're asking for final degrees and not ongoing education, but I really don't know. I have to look at the question itself. Okay. So if the question asks for finished degrees, obviously you don't have to talk about CPT. But if the question talks about ongoing education, which I doubt, at that point you have to enter everything. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck. I think there's one more question that came up from Michigan. What happened, Michigan? Go ahead. Michigan, go ahead, please.
Hi, sir.
ये आप
Sorry,
बड़ा
I accidentally pressed
आप
plus
पहले
one.
ये बताओ कि इतना सोच के सवाल कर रही थी आप या पहले you were trying to make sure that I know the answers before you asked.
No, sir, absolutely not.
अच्छा.
I actually accidentally pressed plus instead of star.
अच्छा.
So
Yes,
I was like,
ma'am.
आपने नाम नहीं लिया, so just trying it
अच्छा.
again.
No problem. I thought अगर आप टेस्ट ले रही थी तो I'm glad I passed that test.
No, sir, absolutely not.
अच्छा अच्छा बोलिए. How can I
I
help
won't dare that.
you? Okay. जी मैम.
First of all, thank you so much for conducting this call.
जी, my pleasure.
My question to you is that I'm working with Tata for an American client, and this is like my last year with OPT, and I have just one more attempt left for H1 2025. Tata would be raising my H1. Also, the American client offered to raise H1 for the same position. So I have a background in finance as well, plus IT. And I have been working with finance team also. So the client is also, I'm interviewing with a lot of other departments in the same company because I understand the BMS and everything. So if they raise my H1, let's say the finance team raises my H1 for a position in financial analyst, and the current role that I have, my current team, Tata plus the American client, both raise my H1 for the same position that I'm working on. Would that count as collusion or something like that?
I think that's problematic. I think that's problematic. I think because you are applying for the same job twice. So I would be reluctant to say that's going to go through without any problem. Okay.
Okay. So would it be okay if I let Tata do my H1 for the current position and I can still apply for other positions which are finance related with that company?
Well, that becomes more difficult to answer, and I'll have to look at the exact language of the regulations. But have your client's legal team look at this issue? My own opinion, again, without looking at the regulations, I think if it's a totally different position, you could have the client apply for that different position while Tata applies for the finance position. So have your end client's team double check that issue, but I think it can be done. Okay.
Actually, the thing is that I am appearing for the interviews. So right now, I'm working as a project manager with Tata for this client. And this is absolutely IT configuration. And just because I have finance background, I have an MBA degree with finance from India. I'm also applying for other positions in the same company. And that's absolutely different department, different domain, where I would be working as a financial reporting analyst.
Yeah, so I answered that question.
So these two roles are very
ma'am,
different.
I already answered that question. That's the question I answered. I said if it's a totally different position or with a different unit, I think it can be done, but have your end client double check it. Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah, this is a question of your career. I can't give you advice light-heartedly saying, "Arey theek hai, chalta hai, ho jayega." That's not how we practice law. We want to double check things because there are always surprises in the language of the law. So personally, from what I remember, the way the regulation and the policy is written, it should not be a problem, but I would not want to advise that without having it double checked. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you for answering.
You're welcome. All right, folks, that brings us to the end of today's conversation. Always a pleasure to talk to all of you. I'll see you again next week, next Thursday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on LinkedIn Audio. Okay? Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.